Okay. Capitalism or communism. You know what the main problem with capitalism and communism is? That people run them. That's the problem. And people in power. In our country, as described by Paul Craig Roberts, he said that the reason that the United States is behind Russia in their weapons is that because the people that make the armaments essentially bribe the Congress so they buy their junky old ass equipment so they can keep making profit. And the people who build them don't say nothing because they're all out here in the hinterlands because they've got factories in almost every county, every state. They're everywhere. There's some type of military operation to build it. So capitalism, as we've seen, if you get capitalism, it turns into crony capitalism. For a while, it's great. Communism, same thing. They get all those people to work. They put all those people to educated. They built stuff. They did stuff. Then after a while, what we have now in China is a few families. They call them the lords. So they have a name for them. I don't know what they call them. But they own the whole thing. They own them. They act like that they're some kind of benighted people. And the people get nothing. So they have an oligarchy in China. They have an oligarchy here. So whatever government you get, you have an oligarchy. So that's the problem with all of them. The power needs to be dispersed, and people who live in their own lives need to run their lives. But the problem with people, I got into discussion. I said, we need to have health care. First thing they start coming out, well, what about Canada? What about my taxes? What about this? I mean, with health care, if we had a single payer, that would lower cost, and it's worked all over. I don't know if that's and I don't think that's what we're going to get. I don't think it's going to happen. But then they automatically come out with these tried and true examples, these arguments that have been made for 50 years, and you get nowhere. I have a friend that no matter what he does, he has socialist utopia breadline. And that's the end of his analysis. That's the end. He just wants to sit there in his fat, in his life, and his success, and convince himself that he's right. And that's what he wants to do. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to move forward. I don't care really. I don't care really what Roosevelt did, or what Hitler did, or what Stalin did. I will try to learn from them. But we're in 2016. We're almost at the end of the year, and we're seeing a capitalist system collapsing. We're seeing the people that are at the banks that are printing up all this money, however they do it, whether they print it up with a keyboard or they give out loans to their buddies, whatever. They take all that money and corrupt other governments and overthrow governments, build stuff we don't need, give people jobs they don't need, that don't accomplish anything. And it's collapsing. Just like the Soviet Union collapsed for different reasons. Because all the power got sent somewhere else. I don't know. And it collapsed. That's where we are. We're collapsing. And we're going to collapse. Something bad is going to happen. I don't exactly know. We'll flesh this out later and talk about it some more. I'm going to think about it. I want to talk about what the collapse is going to look like. But that's not what the purpose of this video is. The purpose is, as Jesus said, you cannot make new wine with old skin. If we're going to face our problems when we're constantly going about, that's Hitler, that's Stalin, that's communism, that didn't work in Canada, they tried it. That's not going to be the work that. We have to sit there and look at these issues and discuss them in a civilized manner and figure this out. Which we probably won't. We're going to end up in a mess. The ones that survive are going to have a good life. A lot of people who are living off the fat of the land are fixing to get it. And they're already getting it. Out!